Did it not stream?
I don't know.
I didn't get a notification saying that you're streaming, so
All right, we're live now. Take two, I
are
believe.
we though?
I don't know. Um, we'll know after talking for an hour. Uh, it says that it's live.
All right, as long as it's if it says it's live, then we'll go with it's live. Um,
There's a button to end the stream, so maybe that'll work.
that's
I don't know.
positive.
Um, anyway, welcome to the show. I don't know what the show's called. We'll have to come up with a name for it. But today I've got a special guest.
Lee's Tech News.
Lee's Tech News. I've got a special guest, Chris Begg, my partner in crime on our By the Riverside podcast. He's joining us in live.
This is branching out to seeing our faces, which is
Unfortunate. I mean,
maybe not a good move. Maybe we're better left heard and not seen.
it says we're live on YouTube. Look,
Oh, nice.
it's us. See?
Yep, that's
There we
us. That's my mug.
That'll do.
You'll get banned just for that.
Well, I don't want to cut my head off like that. I'll stay seated. We're doing a live stream because we had some exciting announcements overnight. So I thought I'd get Chris on in person to have a chat, and I can ask him several important questions and see if we can get some answers.
So, and as you know, I'm a bit of a Xbox nut.
Nerd.
Yes, that's a bit of an understatement, I would say. Um, so overnight they did the Inside Xbox release where they talked about a whole bunch of new releases that are going to be coming out for the Series X.
Mm-hmm. So Series X,
So these
for
are-
people that, as if anyone's going to watch this if they're not an Xbox fan. But yeah, Series X is the new console that's due to release.
The next generation. They haven't announced a release date yet. So they've said they're going to give more information in July.
Right, but we're thinking this
about
year, right?
that sort of thing. So I think they're still going with this year, but we haven't really heard an actual date yet. But there's still plenty of time coming for that. So this was more of a this is what the Microsoft Game Studios companies have been working on as launch titles.
Right.
For the
and
Series
I've
X.
noticed there's been this nice little to and froing with the PS5,
Yes,
the Sony
but
people.
these are like pretty much or mostly Xbox exclusives.
Cool.
And most of them have this really cool thing which they're calling smart delivery, which means that if you buy the game on your Xbox One, then when you get your Xbox Series X, you will then get the Xbox Series X version of it without having to buy another copy.
Ah, that's cool. So like a backwards compatibility sort of.
Well, kind of like, well, because I remember when GTA 5 came out, I had it on the PS3, and then the PS4 came out, and then I had to buy it again on the PS4 to get the updated graphics and everything.
Yep.
So now, and even Project CD Red said when Cyberpunk releases, they're doing the same thing with the smart delivery. Whereas if you buy the Xbox One version, you will get the Xbox One X, the Xbox Series X version.
It's kind
as
of like
well.
what they used to do with DVDs when you used to buy the DVD and then you'd get the electronic, the digital
The
version.
digital copy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, same kind of deal, I
Yep.
think. But there were some really cool games that they announced.
Okay, well, let's go
and
through some of
I'll
those.
take you through them. I can't remember exactly what the first one is. I kind of missed that
Perfect.
one.
What an excellent introduction.
But then they had Dirt 5,
Dirt 5.
which
okay.
it's a racing game.
Yep. So I played Dirt
so it
4
looks-
and Dirt 2.
Yeah. So this is not Dirt 3. It is Dirt 5, the one that comes after 4.
Right.
And it looked pretty cool. It looked like a typical kind of racing game. And racing games have always had pretty good graphics, So this is just pushing those graphics even further. That's
Got a visitor here.
and then they had a game. I believe it. Oh no, they can't. Scorn. Again, this didn't really give any sort of gameplay sort of footage. It looked like pre-rendered sort of stuff, but a lot of it was saying it was in engine and stuff. But this looked really creepy, kind of had a real H.R. Geiger kind of feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, which made it look really interesting.
Okay. Scorn. Okay.
But I couldn't tell you what the game is because
Is that already out on Steam, or is it a brand new game?
No, I think this is a brand new game.
Because there is a Scorn game on Steam. Coming
I
soon.
tell
Okay,
you.
it's probably this. Yeah, no, it's the same game. It's just not out yet.
Yeah, and it's got that real H.R. Geiger kind of aesthetic to it.
Yep.
Then there was Corvs, which I think is actually chorus, but they've used a V as a U.
Nice.
They've gone the black metal route in naming conventions, and it just looks like a pretty cool kind of space shooter sort of thing, where it's like a third person view of your spaceship and you're shooting through it.
Oh yeah, yep.
Then there was Bloodlines 2,
Right.
which looked amazing. So it's like a vampire game, but some of the mechanics they showed in it were really, really cool. Which I mean, all of these games have trailers, so you can go look at the trailers. They're on YouTube.
Yep.
But that one looked really promising. They announced Madden 21, which as an NFL fan I knew was going to come anyway. But
What?
Why would they
do that?
They had Patrick Mahomes talking, and he was the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, and they won the Super Bowl this year.
There's a Super Bowl.
But yeah, it's like a really big bowl that they all drink their punch out of. Now, what was kind of cool with this is they kind of went through the history of Madden. So they went through like the old NES versions, and then as it progressed, but they didn't really show anything from the next one. And I really kind of want to see what it's going to look like on the next version because it keeps getting more and more realistic.
Right.
But they didn't really show any footage of what it looks like.
So they just talked about it.
They just talked about it, and it was just more of a, hey, look, we've got the Super Bowl MVP talking.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got. I've just got the Verge. They've kind of done a report on it, but it's all text because there's no photos. But
well, because it was on video, so
yeah, right. They're just kind of comparing the PlayStation versus Xbox.
So, well, there's another game called Call of the Sea, which looks absolutely stunning. It has a really kind of toony sort of feel. Actually, reminded me a lot of Sea of Thieves.
Right.
Has that kind of look to it, but like a bit more next gen.
Yep.
But couldn't really tell you what the game was. It was more of a theatrical trailer. It looks like it's going to be like a first-person puzzle sort of game where you go through the island trying to find answers for something.
Call of the Sea is an otherworldly adventure game set in the 1930s South Pacific. Explore a lush island paradise and puzzle out the secrets of a lost civilization in the hunt for your husband's missing expedition. Sounds all right. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it actually, and it looks really, really nice.
It does look very Sea of Thieves.
It does. It's got that very Sea of Thieves islandy kind of look.
Yep, that's cool.
But just like a bit more advanced, technically.
Yeah, I like it.
Then there was the Ascent, which really can't say a lot about this one. It just looks like an isometric run and gun shooter.
The Ascent revealed trailer.
So the cutscenes looked really cool, and it showed some gameplay, and it was more of an isometric view where you twin stick shooter kind of thing.
Oh, it's a reveal. I'm just playing the reveal trailer after the ad. Love ads.
After the ad. Well, it's a great thing to do on the when you're live streaming, you're sitting waiting for an ad. After that, they had The Medium, and this game looks really cool. So it's like a psychological horror game.
Ooh, I like it.
But you play
Silent Hill. They're mentioning.
They mentioned. Well, they did have an interview with a couple of the developers of it afterwards, and they said Silent Hill. Well, they've actually got the composer from Silent Hill 2.
Oh, have they?
Doing the music, and the audio for it. And so I think you play as like a medium, a psychic medium, and you can see like the spirit world as well. So you can actually look at people and they might be really nice to you up front, but you can go into the spirit world and you can see their real intentions.
Kind of like a upside down world in that Netflix show, Stranger Things.
Yes. Yes, I guess I really haven't seen much Stranger Things, so
Good. I'm glad I brought it up then. Yes.
but it looks kind of cool. It looks like, I mean, I'm not really much into horror games, but that's one looks like I'd give that one a go.
We all remember Silent Hill though.
Yeah, Silent Hill was great.
The first time I crapped my pants in real life. Maybe not the first time.
It was at least the second. Then they had a Scarlet Nexus, which it looks like an interactive anime beat 'em up.
Right.
But it looks amazing. Like graphically, it looks amazing. I mean, gameplay wise, it looks like a typical kind of Japanese beat 'em up kind of game. You know, where there's like a million enemies and you're doing a million different hits and things like that. But it actually looks like a 3D anime movie.
Kind of like that. What was that game? Was it?
That narrows it down. You know that one with the thing.
There was a game. I'm sure there was a game. I'm playing there. Is it Namco? Or is this an ad? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was a Namco Bandai.
Scarlet. Oh, there it's playing. There's some video for the viewers. Yeah, it's cool. There was a movie with, was it Keanu Reeves was in it, and it was like that cell shading kind of style.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. That movie.
Well, I am 106
I think that was like late
years
90s.
old.
I think, yeah. Get with the times, man.
I'm way up on everything.
But it looks really cool. Like it looks like they've taken the cell shading to a whole new level.
No, that's pretty cool. It's much better than it was 20 years ago. You'll be happy to know.
Yes, although mind you, Wind Waker still holds up today.
Yeah.
The GameCube version still holds up, even though it's still got like the aliasing around the side, but this looks still good.
That's right. Hey.
After that, they had second extinction, Reclaim Earth, and this looks awesome. So it's like a first-person dinosaur shooter.
Right.
So I think dinosaurs are invading or something. I don't know the actual story behind it, but you're shooting dinosaurs.
Well, that's all we need to know.
And graphically, it looked just amazing. Like all these games looked amazing, and that's kind of, I guess, the whole point of this was to show off and go, "Hey, look what we can do graphically with the Xbox Series X."
Yeah, that's cool.
And the next one was Yakuza, Like a Dragon.
Oh yeah, yep.
Which had, again, a kind of a cel-shaded sort of look to a lot of the characters. But it had some like really cool fighting mechanics in it. I haven't played any of the Yakuza games myself.
No, neither have I.
But there was some like really cool Japanese style wrestling moves in there, and it looks really cool.
I've got to put my birth date in there before I see the trailer.
But obviously the big announcement, and I mean everyone saw this probably yesterday as well, was, or maybe a couple of days ago, was Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Mm-hmm.
The new Assassin's Creed game set in a Viking setting.
What do you think of that? That'd be right up your alley, wouldn't it?
It is right up my alley. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the Assassin's Creed franchise. Odyssey, I thought looked amazing, but I couldn't get into the gameplay. And I haven't been, the only real Assassin's Creed I've really enjoyed was Assassin's Creed 3, which apparently a lot of people hated.
What was 3? I can't remember 3.
3 was the one that was set in the Civil War. No, not the Revolutionary War.
Okay.
The American Revolutionary War against the English.
Right.
It was like the first one that was in a real big open world. And it wasn't set in sort of Roman times or anything like that. Right. It was.
I really enjoyed the first one, and I played maybe, and then I sort of didn't do much for a while. Then I got into Black Flag.
Yeah, so I haven't played Black Flag.
That was good fun. That was good
But I
fun.
remember playing the first one. I remember enjoying it, but then I remember thinking, "Oh, geez, it takes forever to get between places because you had to ride your horse everywhere. They didn't have any fast travel or
Yeah,
any of
yeah,
that."
yeah.
And then I skipped the second one, and then the third one came out on PlayStation Plus, so I downloaded that and I like finished that entire game.
Yeah.
Um, although they tried to do the whole open world thing with it, and as an Assassin's Creed game, I found it didn't quite work for me because I'm kind of like, I just want to play the story.
Yeah.
I'm playing this for the story. I'm not playing it for the open world. But Valhalla looks like it's a game I'm actually excited about.
Yeah, no, it does look
Um,
good.
and they should. Well, they said they were showing like in-game footage, but there was no actual gameplay. So I don't know whether it's just in-game cutscenes they were showing.
Hate how they do
Um,
that.
but there was no actual gameplay showing you someone playing a part of a level or anything. It
Yeah,
was
right.
all sort of cutscene-y. So it looked like it looked pre-rendered,
Yeah.
but apparently it wasn't.
Yeah, right.
But
We'll have to
that's
see.
a game I am looking forward to. I haven't looked forward to an Assassin's Creed game for years. I thought I'd never play another one. I only played Odyssey because it came with my Xbox One X.
Yeah, I mean, I play Odyssey. I didn't finish, but I got into a bit. The other one, before Odyssey, it was Odyssey was the Greek.
Odyssey was a Greek one, and I have no idea because they release a new one every year. And it's
Last
like
week's
Call
one
of
was
Duty.
so much
Like
better than this week's.
yeah, like I couldn't tell you what Call of Duty was released last year or the year before, or I just know there was a Call of Duty released. Like
That's right.
Assassin's Creed is kind of the same. Like,
Call of Duty 28.
So yeah, and that was the last game that they announced, and then they did some
Yeah, cool.
interviews with some of the devs, and it was it was quite interesting. It went for about half an hour, the whole thing, and it's actually you can actually watch it on your Xbox.
Of course you can.
There was a little tile on the Xbox. That's how I watched it.
Oh, for the announcement.
Yeah, so I knew there was one coming because I got the heads up from a friend, but there actually looks like there's some really cool stuff coming for the new Xbox.
Oh, that's good. Cool.
And they said, there's going to be more reveals in July as far as games. And I think most of these games, I'd say apart from Madden and Assassin's Creed, were all done by Xbox Game Studios.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So, because they've got I think they said they've got 15 companies, 15 game development companies underneath the Xbox Game Studios now.
Excellent.
So, they're going the EA/Disney route of just buying up.
Let's absorb everybody, which is okay if the games are good.
It's okay if the games are good, but then they close down good. Like EA, how many good studios have EA closed down that were making good stuff? But then when you get into that whole corporate culture of a big company, then they start losing that creative freedom that they had when they were an independent, and then they get told, "Oh, you got to develop this way," or "We don't want you to do that feature. You got to take that out and put all these microtransactions in."
Oh yeah, yep. Anyway,
and if there's one thing people love, it's microtransactions.
There should be more. Damn it! They need mini.
Everything should be a microtransaction. Can you micro?
The double micro.
Microtransactions.
Oh, cool. Well, that's awesome. So I think we've probably covered.
That was a cool thing.
Yeah, we covered. We covered a fair
really
bit
cool
there.
announcement.
That's. Hopefully it's this year, but I guess we'll have to wait and see.
I believe that both Xbox and the PS5 are still planned to be released, even with the whole coronavirus thing.
Yeah, right.
I think they're still planning to release them. Whether that happens or not, I think it might be maybe only some countries will get it. Some countries won't.
Yeah.
But I think most countries are still allowing trade through.
Yeah.
So
that shouldn't stop anything. Hopefully.
I guess it all depends more on the manufacturing, whether it can be manufactured or not.
Yeah, well, that's true too. It's just going to depend. We'll see how the next couple of months rolls out. Well, that's awesome. Thanks for your time, Chris. Thanks for coming in and saying g'day and having a chat. And hopefully we'll make this, now that it took me 4 hours to work the audio, it's almost like now we can do this all the time.
Yeah, Apple Mac. They make it so easy.
Yeah, it just works, don't you know?
It just works.
And also, what's a computer?
That's the Todd Howard. That's the Todd Howard train of thought with Fallout 76. It just
It
works.
just works. I don't want to hear any feedback. Just do it.
La 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 la.
Awesome. Well, we'll wrap this up. And again, thanks for coming on, Chris. Where can people find you, by the way?
You can find me on Twitter at @cbeg for mercy, or on Facebook at Facebook/the Chris Begg.
Not the other one. It's the Chris Begg.
The Chris Begg. There are many. There's a baseball player with my name. So
There you go.
I'm not him.
Prove it.
I would very much like his money.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
but I can't play baseball. I'd get bored.
So you can also catch us weekly on our By the Riverside podcast, which you can get on Spotify. You can get on the other one, iTunes.
Apple Podcasts everywhere. Probably the easiest way to find that is to go to the By the Riverside website, which is bytheriverside.net, or on Facebook, which is By the Riverside, facebook.com/By the Riverside podcast.
Perfect. Easy.
I got it again. I always screw that one up, but I got that. I got it.
Or I think if you probably jump into podcast app and search for By the Riverside,
you'll
get
definitely
something
find
close.
it that way, yeah.
If not ours,
If not, you might find something
else's.
better.
That's right. If it's not ours, it might be equally entertaining. I don't know, maybe. Anyway, that's it for today, and thanks again for stopping by, Chris.
No problem. I'll see you next time.
See you later.